Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
My name is Jessie. I'm a United States Special Forces widow. This gives me a unique perspective on the world around us. If you're willing to listen, I'll tell you how I see it, and I won't pull any punches. This is my POV, which stands for Point of View.
All right. This is Jessie, and I am, as always, happy to be back with you guys. Now, I know you can hear the frog in my throat. This one's not going away with a drink of water, folks. Couple of announcements. There will be no Jessie's POV tomorrow night, at least no new episode. I will be putting up a replay. I'm going to replay the history of terrorism. It's a great Saturday slowdown. If you haven't caught it, I highly encourage it. Why am I not doing a live episode? Alright. You hear Mr. Frog. Also, sundown tomorrow night starts Yom Kippur. I am Jewish. This is the Day of Atonement. It is important for me to take the time and be focused on Yom Kippur. Basically, you guys are going to get me as many days as I can, barring a few Jewish holidays. I will happily be here for you as often as I can. And you guys ought to know that by now. I mean, pardon me. Mr. Frog is here for a while. There's been a lot going on in the world. I'm going to start off with what I thought was the most frightening of, well, not frightening, but, oh no. Now they're in on the act. For those of you who are regular listeners of my show, you know that Iran has been harassing our ships in the Mediterranean and the Straits of Hormuz and all those areas. Alright. The USS Mason was nearly hit by 2 missiles while it was off the coast of Yemen on Sunday. Yes, I said missiles, and I said Yemen. The missiles missed the warship and landed in the water, the Pentagon stated. Captain Jeff Davis said the ship deployed defensive measures and was not damaged. He said the missiles came from the Houthis, a minority Shia group in Yemen. However, the group denied that its forces had targeted the USS Mason with the missiles. An official of the Houthi-controlled military said reports of the missiles targeting ships in the area are baseless. The official says the report is nothing more than a cover-up by the United States and Saudi-led coalition. Alright. Remember those scorecards? Let's start. For those of you who don't recall our lovely Middle East scorecards. Russia, quick overview. Russia is backing Assad. We want Assad gone. Turkey and Russia are frenemies. We are using a Turkish airbase to launch strikes against ISIS. And then you have Iran backing Russia and Assad and Syria. I apologize, folks. I'm just not feeling the greatest tonight. Alright. So, Iran is also backing the Houthi rebels. Remember, we support the Kurds. Turkey doesn't like the Kurds. So, everybody's got their rebel parties. So, the fact that A, the Houthis denied it, and B, Iran probably gave them the missiles, I hate to say it, doesn't surprise me. Now, there was a deadly attack at a funeral gathering in the Yemeni capital Sana'a, which was perpetrated by Saudi coalition forces, and social media went ballistic. Alright? Alright. American journalist Abby Martin took to Twitter to show how her disgust at Washington's support for the Saudi regime that continues to systematically target Yemeni civilians. Quote, I feel sick that my government protects this murderous regime. The U.S. backed Saudi bombs a funeral in Yemen. They massacred 140 people. That is a lot of deaths, and I'm sorry, if the Sauds dropped a bomb on a funeral, that is wrong. Could it have been a mistake? I don't know. We've got some of the lesser-known political candidates blaming us for aiding the government, the Saudi government. I apologize, folks. This is going to be a short show. I mean, bombing a funeral is right up there in my mind with bombing a hospital. You just don't do it. Alright? Alright. On to other news. There's plenty of it. War is seeking a war crimes probe of Russia's actions in Syria. Can't say I blame them. France's foreign minister is calling on the International Criminal Court to investigate Russia for possible war crimes in Syria. Says the investigation would hinge on Moscow's role in the aerial offensive in the rebel-held eastern part of Aleppo. Russia on Saturday blocked the United Nations Security Council resolution on the cessation of hostilities in Aleppo, proposed by France and Spain last month. IRL warned that Russia would be guilty of both war crimes if Moscow didn't pressure Bashar al-Assad to stop escalating the violence. Factual? Yeah, I can see this one. Alright, that's another story about. Alright, Saudi has been bombing Yemen, the Yemeni people for some time. It's been called the Forgotten War. It's been a punishing campaign of airstrikes by a Saudi-led coalition over the last 18 months that has destroyed schools, homes, hospitals, and crowded marketplaces in Yemen, the Arab world's poorest nation. Now, a single devastating attack that left at least 140 mourners at a funeral hall in Yemen's capital. Oh. Like I said, short show tonight, guys. Short show. Now, a single devastating attack that left at least 140 mourners dead at a funeral hall in Yemen's capital, Sana'a, may push the Obama administration to reconsider its support of the air war spearheaded by Riyadh, and could spark a reappraisal of Western arms sales to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has announced an inquiry into Saturday night's grisly bombardment of the crowded funeral hall, which was widely blamed on the coalition, although Saudis have not accepted responsibility. And the Obama administration said it was reviewing its role in the coalition in light of Saturday's attack. Folks, I am not boring you with the official press conference version on this one. I just don't think you want to hear it. It is watching paint dry. Alright, there is currently a holiday underway in Iran. It is called Ashura. I've got some audio pulled up on that, and we're going to take a listen.
A tradition that has its roots deep into the culture of Shia Islam. To these black-clad mourners, the month of Muharram is an occasion to preserve the tragedy of Karbala. In Iran, parades of mourners take to the streets since the beginning of Muharram. Ceremonies reach their climax on the 9th and the 10th of Muharram, respectively, known as Tasu'a and Ashura. These holy days mark the Battle of Karbala and the day Imam Hussein and his kin and companions were martyred by forces under the command of Yazid ibn Muawiyah, the second Umayyad Caliph, in 680 AD.
The message of Imam Hussein and his movement was to defend freedom and the rights of human beings. It was a movement against tyranny, corruption, and the murder of innocent people.
Such ceremonies are marked by Shias all across the world. People from all walks of life pay their respects to Prophet Muhammad's grandson by following the parades and listening to Imam Hussein's story, told by devoted narrators.
Even from a non-religious point of view, the Ashura uprising is an inspiring event. Imam Hussein acted as a role model for all the freedom seekers of the world. And poems are one of the ways by which we can convey the message of a man who once said, if you have no religion, at least be free.
This year, the Ashura is commemorated as the Islamic world continues to face serious challenges, including extremism and terror by kinds of ISIL, war and devastation in Syria, Iraq and Yemen, the refugee crisis and Islamophobia in the West. Many Shia clerics believe that Muharram is a time to show the reality of Islam to the world.
Today, it is so painful to see the suffering of innocent Yemenis whose lives are torn apart under the Saudi bombardment, or the fate of people in Syria. So when we shed tears for Imam Hussein, we sympathize with people who are still being oppressed, and based on our teachings, we must stand up against such cruelties.
The main event takes place in the Iraqi city of Karbala on Wednesday, where millions of pilgrims arrive to visit the shrines of Imam Hussein and his brother Abul Fazl al-Abbas.
To the Shias, the tragedy of Karbala and the martyrdom of Imam Hussein and his companions is an inseparable part of their cultural and religious identity, a legacy which they have passed on from one generation to another for many centuries. Amir Mehdi Kazemi, Press TV, Tehran.
Alright, why did I play this piece on the holiday? I feel it is important for you to understand some of the different cultures. Iran is Shia. Alright, let's get that straight. Shia and Sunni do not get along. Alright? And we covered that in the history of terrorism, which will be replayed tomorrow night. So, it's one of those things. We covered a lot of it. And I feel it's good. And ISIS is, well, there's a lot of things about ISIS. I mean, by the way, let's cover one thing. The fundamental reason there was the Shia-Sunni split was because they couldn't decide who was going to succeed the Prophet Muhammad. Alright? ISIS fighters are Sunni. This is a Shia holiday. So, I'm expecting a few things to go boom in the next 24 to 48 hours. But I will not be back with you tomorrow night. You will have a wonderful replay because I will be fasting and off doing a number of other things. Alright, we are almost done, believe it or not, because, well, quite frankly, I'm struggling to speak. Yes, I know, that doesn't happen often, but it does happen. Yeah, I had a long night last night. I had the debate and the round table. Why I did not have to discuss anything during the debate. I was herding cats during the round table. Boy, was I herding cats. Now, I'm just looking for one thing on a quote that Petraeus said that I really enjoy. Like I said, I can barely talk today. Looking for one more quote. Alright. I happen to really like how General David Petraeus described Syria.
Let me now turn to the situation in Syria. Syria today, Mr. Chairman, is a geopolitical Chernobyl, spewing instability and extremism over the region and the rest of the world. Like a nuclear disaster, the fallout from the meltdown of Syria threatens to be with us for decades. And the longer it is permitted to continue, the more severe the damage will be. It is frequently said that there is no military solution to Syria or the other conflicts roiling the Middle East. This may be true, but it is also misleading. For in every case, if there is to be any hope of a political settlement, a certain military and security context is required, and that context will not materialize on its own. We and our partners need to facilitate it, and over the past 4 years, we have not done so.
All right, so there you have General David Petraeus' take on the situation. I am going to wish any of my Muslim listeners a happy Ashura, and I am off to enjoy, well, not enjoy, I am off to participate in the Day of Atonement, the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur. I'm going to invite you all to listen to either your favorite episode or the history of terrorism. I told you this was going to be a short episode, and I apologize that it was so short, but I think it was for the best. And on that note, I'm out of here!